I start the session, I just want to have a brief feeling of what preparation problems you all have right now. So in the chat box, just write down the which particular subject is the most problematic area for you while preparing for CLAT, so that we can talk a bit more on that particular area. So on the chat box, write down your problematic area, which subject. All right. Okay. I'm getting a lot of response. That's good. Okay. Quant, GK backlog, Quant, CR English. All right. So some of the participants interestingly write a very correct problem, that is time management. How to do a time management in a proper manner. Can't attempt the full paper. All right. We'll discuss that also. Can't attempt the full paper. Wonderful. All right, guys. Fine. Some unfamiliar passage of legal, uh, quant, time management, critical reasoning and English, GK, 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 GK. All right, fine. All right. By going with the data, I think that we need to discuss all five subjects, because the problem's been equally distributed among all the subjects. Fine. All right. So I'll try to cover all the five subjects in that case, and while discussing subject-wide strategy, I'll be giving you some tips that you should follow, which have been helpful for the students in the past who have scored well in CLAT exam. Fine. So let us start with today's session. I think people will keep on joining throughout the session. So let us start with today's session now. Uh, Before starting, let me give a brief introduction of myself. I am Abhishek Chaturvedi. I am acting vice president, CLAT product, CLAT Prep time, and I'm the founder of CLAT Prep organization. Now, I have trained more than I can say lots and lots of people. Is not going for the numbers, since I'm in this field since 1 year before the CLAT exam, that is 2007. I am training student for law entrance exam since 2007. That is, I'm one year older in this industry than actual CLAT exam is. Earlier, they used to have their own exams. Every NLU was used to have their separate exams. From 2008 onwards, they combined and had a unified exam by the name of CLAT. So I have seen CLAT come into existence. I have seen CLAT grown and being mature. I have seen lots of changes happening in CLAT paper pattern. We will be focusing today uh, on the present CLAT pattern that has been followed by CLAT. Primarily, I'll be talking about CLAT in today's session. Maybe later we'll plan some session regarding AILET and SLAT. But primarily, we'll talk about CLAT and academic part. This academic part would be common to AILET also and SLAT also. Fine. So without any further delay, let us start with today's session. Uh, in the starting, this is the agenda of today's session. We'll go for actually give a thought on how many days actually we have. Psychological conditioning, which is the most important factor for all you people right now. And I'll give you relevance of that also with some examples while going ahead. I'll be sharing some rules to crack CLAT that have been developed over the years with my interaction with a lot of students we have produced many all India rank ones. We have produced more than 100 annual selections every year. So on basis of those experiences and those interactions, I have devised some rules that I'll be sharing with you. We'll also be talking about academic strategy, which should be subject-wise plan and all, and how to attempt mocks. Majority of the people who prepare for CLAT are stuck in somewhere in the range of 50 to 70 or 40 to 70. So how to break that particular range? And in the last part of the session, we'll be having a very great announcement for you all. That is Hyundai Hope Scholarship, and we will be having a person from the organization who will explain you a bit about the scholarship, which is on the cards for each and every one of you who are preparing for CLAT. So it's a wonderful opportunity for all of you to get a great scholarship, which with a very good amount. With that part, I'll be coming on later with representative will discussing you. So we'll discuss basically about CLAT, the need of psychological conditioning, rules to prepare for CLAT, 50 to 70 mark journey, how can you cover it, strategies for attempting the mock, as well as subject-wise plan for the next 2.5, 3 months that we have for CLAT. And then we'll be discussing some FAQs, doubts, and queries, and then we'll talk about Hyundai scholarship. Fine. So let us start with today's session without wasting any time. Now, why is this particular session relevant for you? You are preparing lots since last 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Some of you might be preparing for last year also. So it is very important for us to understand the need of this particular session. That what is the main thing that we'll be targeting upon? What is the main thing that we are going to change after this particular session? In fact, if we talk an example of mythology, Lord Krishna taught Gita to Arjun at the start of Mahabharata. Now, why did Krishna and what basically these teaching did to Arjun, and why Lord Krishna gave these lessons to Arjun at that particular point of time? Now you all are at a particular verge where you at a particular time where you all will be facing a lot of competition. You all will be facing a lot of heat for getting good result in your CLAT exam. That is 2.5 months or 3 months now. uh, so at this point of time, you all might be in a lot of dilemmas that should I do all five subjects, how to improve marks, uh, how can I assume my friend to be my competitor, and all these things will come in mind. See, the main agenda of today's session is the same, which Lord Krishna used and found relevant, and he taught Gita to Arjun, and that main agenda is basically to work on the mindset. Fine. You all are extremely capable kind of people. You all can crack CLAT exam. You all can score a great score in CLAT exam, provided you all work a lot on your mindset. If you do not work on your mindset, that would be a problem. Fine. You see, one thing is very essential for us to understand that if you do not have a very strong mindset, cracking competitive exam would be a problem for us. In India, we face a lot of competition. We have a huge population. We have a huge number of competitors with us. Some of them are very good, and if you do not have mindset, it will be a difficult task for us to compete with them. So today we will work a lot on the mindset. We want I specifically want you all to come out from the mindset of a student and start behaving like a competitor. Have a mindset of a competitor. Fine. All right. Now, uh, how much can I study? Do I have 80 or 90 days remaining for CLAT exam? I want all of you to write on chat box. Do you have 80 to 90 days for a CLAT preparation right now? Do you believe that? Uh, Please, everyone, mute yourself. All right. So 80 to 90, maximum students are saying yes. 80 to 90, around, except 2, 3, 80 to 90. All right. Now the problem is not in the figures. We do have around 80 days with us while preparing for CLAT. CLAT is on 1st of December, so basic mathematics 75, 80, whatever, 90, whatever it is. I'm not going to that basic mathematics, but I have a feeling that I'm having more than 75 days with me for CLAT preparation. Now that particular feeling vanishes out as soon as I go to the detailing. I'm willing to waste around 7 to 10 days. Festivals are coming up. Now I may have school exams or I may have exams at tuition centers. 10 days I'll be having mood swings. 10 days I don't know where they went. When I look ahead, I think that my 5 to 10 days will got wasted. Uh, some of my friend might be in crisis. 10 days I'll waste over there. So when we plan these things, we do not cater to the time that we are going to waste in the future. Fine. And the last and the most important, deadliest point at this point of time is social media. You yourself cannot even calculate how much hours and how much efficiency and how many days you are going to waste on that particular part for in next 2.5 months. I strongly suggest each and every one of you to kindly extract at least 70-75 days dedicated to Clat, because all these things will be there to distract you that I've written on the board, and you have to find a way out of this. And the most important and effective technique to do is set your priorities. Fine. Now, how to set your priorities? I want all of you to take a piece of paper. It's a little activity that you can do after the session is over, and write down 10 things that you will do till December, and that should not include anything related to CLAT preparation. That these are the 10 things that I will be doing till December for sure. Except CLAT preparation, I'll prepare a lot for CLAT, and along with that, I will do these 10 activities which are non-academic or maybe related to school academics or some one or two academic events. But more or less, write down 10 things that you will do, and believe me, those will be the things that will stop you to get good ranks in CLAT. You need that to write down those 10 things, and you need to put it on your wall, and every day you should talk to yourself that I will not become a prey, and I will not waste my time in doing these things rather than CLAT preparation. Because you see, if you can't say no, you cannot set your priorities. A lot of us feels a lot that I will do this, I will do that, and I will do that, and I will do that. If until unless you start saying no to less important works, you will not be able to set your priorities straight. Fine. Now there's a very simple matrix for you people. After this session, what you'll do is you'll break your entire CLAT preparation journey from now onwards in 4 quadrants. The left and the topmost quadrant is urgent, that you should do immediately, and that quadrant basically you should write down legal, GK in the top. Legal and GK are the two most important section of your CLAT preparation. This is 50% of your CLAT paper. If your legal or your GK is not good, it is very, very, very difficult for you to make it into good NLUs, because this is a biased paper. It's a paper which is full of biasness. It is a paper who asks that you should be very good in legal reasoning, you should be very good in GK. Until unless that, we are not going to select you. And that's why they give a lot of weightage to GK and legal. So GK and legal is half of your paper. You cannot afford to go into a fight where you do not have top two weapons well prepared with you. Fine. So GK and legal are the topmost and the most urgent thing that you should do on a daily basis. Along with that, you can do one subject in a cyclical manner that I'll talk to you again. In the topmost right corner, that is something which is important for us, not very much urgent. That is something that we are working on our weaknesses. For example, quant. If I talk about quant, if I'm not good in quant, I'll put quant in the second quadrant. But make one thing very sure: on daily basis, you have to hit the content that you're writing on quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. That is top upper half of these 4 quadrants: left side top corner and right side top corner. The third one is the quadrant 3, which is urgent but not so important. Now these are your social distractions. These may be some birthday parties, these may be some friend's birthday. You need to delegate these, you need to outsource these things to other people for next 2.5 months. You need to be present there, but virtually. Fine. Try to avoid these type of distractions. And the last and the fourth quadrant is very critical, which is very difficult for you to do, but have to do it if you want to crack CLAT exam. That is distractions which you created. You need to eliminate them. It may be Instagram, it may be Facebook, it may be some Twitter or whatever it is. It may be talking on phone, it may be your sleeping habits, it may be your killing time habits, whatever it is. Anything which will directly give a negative impact on your CLAT preparation is in quadrant 4. And that is the risk factor. That particular quadrant, you have to shut it off. for next 2.5 months. Fine. Now, there are a few golden rules which I need each and every one of you to keep note upon. Small moves are very important. In fact, they are more important than a big move. If you say, sir, how to improve my GK? I'll say, I'll give you two options. One is prepare 30 minutes GK every day for next 30 days. Number one. Number two, for next 5 days, read 10 hours GK. Now the second one is a big move. The first one is a combination of small move spread uniformly throughout the month. Believe me, the first one will give you more results. When I say read 30 minutes GK every day, maximum of the student give focus on 30 minutes, but the focus should be on every day. If you are doing it every day, if you are making small moves every day in a consistent manner, you will not yourself realize that how much improvement you'll get at the end of the month. Fine. So small moves, do not hesitate to make small moves. In fact, they are the one that sets your direction. Fine. Uh, Very important point. Either you choose courage or comfort. You choose courage to say no to your habits which may kill your clat ranks. You should have courage to say no to the friends who might ask you to go and roam around and kill time. You may choose you can choose courage to attempt 20 questions of maths by setting a time limit of 30 minutes only, or you can live in your comfort zone. You do whatever you can do. You'll go with the flow. You have to choose one. The biggest lie that you can tell to yourself is you can have both. You cannot have both. Either you should have courage or you should have comfort. And if you ask me what to choose, I'll always say choose courage. You need to be a fighter to win a competition. Sitting in a comfort zone will not give you good ranks in CLAT. Fine. One very strong point I want to raise over here is the maximum of the people who are in mid range of their CLAT preparation, that is the people who are scoring in the range of 50 to 70, yeah, 50 to 60. If I'll say 40 to 60 is the more precise rank, those are the people who have a very strong habit of overthinking. Now the overthinking is very dangerous. What happens when we do overthink? When we overthink, we start to hesitate in actions. And when we start to hesitate in actions, we'll put ourselves in a mental jail, which will kill our creativity, which will kill our hard work, which will in fact make us lethargic, and which will not let us to have courage to come out of comfort zone. So please avoid overthinking. Now Nike has understood this thing very clearly, and that's why they put their tagline as "Just Do It." And Nike believed in one thing, that there's a greatness inside you. I too believe that each and every one you have potential of getting CLAT All India rank 1. The first thing and the only thing that you have to do is do not give an excuse why you cannot. You should feel that you're preparing for a very good rank, a single digit rank. You should work accordingly and start doing it. Do it. There are two kind of people I have seen. There are two kind of student I have seen in my life. There are people who ask 10 questions and they act only upon one. And there are very good students who act first and they come with the query to us. So you have to decide that which part you belong to. You ask questions from us and then you go home and you do some of them, or you do a lot of question at your home and then you come to us with some doubt, confusion for clarity. If you choose to be the second one, you are the person who are driven with actions rather than overthinking. Fine. Your actions should drive. Now, there's a very wonderful book that I've read a few time back, that is 5 minutes rule, and it's an amazing way to kill hesitation. Is an amazing way to kill overthinking. What will happen? Let's say you have studied 10 irrelevant questions in GK. So what? We do not attempt GK. What we do is for 2 hours, I am searching Telegram channels, I am searching here and there, I am talking to my friends, arranging more GK content. But what is happening over here is for I have arranged a lot of library, spent 2 hours, and then I'm thinking what to do. Which one is more important? Which one is less important? On the other hand, do one thing: follow your institute, follow the study material, just do it. And once you complete it, you finish it off, you say that ask any question of the material, then think of another material extra. Fine. What happens is you do action and then you analyze that action and then you think on that result, and then you improvise. This is one and the practical way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you do not know how to do it. Let ask someone how to do it. Again, 90% of the people that you are asking a question how to do it will give their own set of opinion. They do not know you. They do not know your strength and weakness. So what they'll give is they'll give their own opinion. It might fit for you, it might not fit for well for you. Fine. So please take charge of yourself, do it first, and then ask, what did I do wrong? Is it worth? Ask that question after doing it. You try this habit once, and you will see your change in your academic performance within 7 days. You do it and then you ask instead of ask and then do. Fine. And this is 5 second rule, which will help you a lot. You see, there is a strong research being made, and from that it's been found that your whatever you think that you should do, if you give your brain 5 seconds to think over it, the natural tendency of your brain is to stop you to doing it, create a hesitation in your mind. Fine. So whenever you think, today I am going to do this GK, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then start it. You just do reverse counting. Now, reverse counting is again a very important psychological factor. If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you have another number 6, 7, 8 coming to you. Your brain is not you are not pushing your brain to act. But when you do reverse counting, after 1 there is no number. Zero is not a count. Fine, 0 does not count. So please try to do this as an experiment. For when you want to do maths, just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start, and start doing it. It might happen that once you start doing it, you might feel 5, 6, 7, 8 problems with you. Then you come to the faculty and have a discussion. Rather than, sir, I am very weak in maths, I don't know what to do. No, this is a wrong answer, wrong caution. Which it's a wrong caution. If your input is wrong, output will also be wrong. Fine. Simple question. Sir, I have attempted 20 question of percentage, but I am able to solve only 3. Sir, can you see my book and see where I'm doing wrong? What concept I need to clear? Now, this is the right question. Fine. So please shift your mode from wrongness to rightness. Fine. You see, a lot of us are well motivated to crack Clat. In fact, we all are well motivated to crack Clat. That's the basic agenda why we started preparing for Clat exam. Fine. We have a motive with us, but is the motive sufficient enough? No. Until and unless we have a fear of losing something, we cannot have that aggression with us. Fine. Motive alone will not work. You need to have fear of losing your 1 year. You need to have fear of losing of your rank. You need to have fear of losing your friends. And there's a combination of motive and fear. If you have combination of motive and fear of losing, you will not realize at what point of time you came out of your comfort zone, you have shown courage, and you have fight for it. Fine. So please write down, if not this rank, then what? And think of it, so that your brain is get a signal that you anyhow you have to achieve this particular rank. Fine. Now, coming to academics, there are 3 important parameters which we will be discussing: understanding and respecting syllabus. A lot of student came and see, sir, in last 2 months, should I practice new concepts or should I practice old concepts? How to revise, revision, how important it is. Now, understanding and respecting syllabus is very simple point, that your paper pattern says that legal and GK are the most important section. Critical reasoning and English are the second priority, and then we come with quant. This is what paper pattern weightage says. But the important point over here is it says that quant is also there. When I asked a question from you, which subject, which particular section have you people are having problem in the starting, many of you write quant and maths over there. Now, if I go back and do some data analysis with a lot of students that I've taught, thousands of students, one common thing is there: they do not study maths until unless there is 1 month left, and then they realize the maths is also important. Please do not commit that mistake. You need to focus on quant as well as other sections also. There are 5 weapons with you. It might be possible that 2 are big weapons, 2 are moderate weapon, and 1 is a small weapon, but every weapon has its relevance. Fine. So please make sure one thing, that you all prepare well for all the 5 sections with you. Fine. Do not make a mistake of taking any section lightly. There are 5 subjects, all 5 are important. Now, having said that, now we have 2.5 months tentatively left with us. So for this month, that is September, you should practice new concepts a lot. From next month onwards, you shift your mode and go more on revision kind of stuff rather than new things. Now, this is one critical month, September, that you all have, because if you are feeling weaknesses in any of the subject, then this is the month to work upon the weakness. From next month onwards, you'll be late. If you feel I'm weak in GK, give a lot of time to GK in this month. If you feel you are weak in quant, give a lot of time for quant in this month. Now, when I say give a lot of time, it does not mean you extract time from other subjects. You need to extract time. Everyone has 24 hours. The person who will be getting all India rank 1 in Clat with you also had these 24 hours only. It's not that as some other people have 30 hours and you have 12 hours. It's your habits of killing time which will create trouble for you. So for this month, stop doing anything extra except studying and create a window of 2-3 more hours and dedicate that to one particular section where you are weak at. Fine. So that you become a moderate, you come to a level of moderate scoring in that particular section with new concept. Again, you need to learn a lot of new concept in this month. From next month onwards, you need to start your revision mode along with a substantial decrease in new things that you will be doing. Fine. So this September is a month of working on your weakness. September is a month of learning new concept, new things, new material. And October onwards, we will be shifting our gears and diluting new things and repeating old things so that we can get maximum output of what we have done so far in actual CLAT exam. Rather than saying I have done 10 things, but I cannot remember anything properly at the time of exam, it will not give you good result. Fine. Revision is very, very, very important. And the last point that I've written, that retention is very important. This is specifically for the people who written that GK is their problem. Their problem is in GK because they are not able to retain what they have read. Fine. I'll talk a bit about more in this one. I'll talk about GK specifically. Fine. All right, sorry, just a second. I skipped. Just a second. All right. All right. Now there are a few rules. As I told you earlier, if you apply these rules, it will work a lot. Now this is rule number 1, that is called as Pomodoro technique, and is applicable to all the sections where you feel you are moderate or you are weak. There might be 1 or 2 strong section of yours, and if these 1 or 2 sections is something from GK or legal, then you have a very good advantage in the exam. But if you have weakness in 1 or 2 section, then it is practically very difficult for a person to fight with a weakness for a long hours. So this particular technique says that you break your entire plan in intervals, and then you fight interval by interval, taking breaks. That, have you seen a boxing game? In boxing game, round 1, then there's a break, round 2, then there's a break, round 3, then there's a break, round 4, then there's a break. Same is happening in basketball matches now. 10-minute rounds with breaks. Now the idea is that your mind and your body will need a time to reboot itself. If in anything that require a lot of pressure, that require a lot of stamina, that require a lot of hard work. So the sections where we are weak at, this is applicable. For example, if I'm weak in quants, so what I'll do is I will not study 2 hours straight in quants. I'll study for 30 minutes. I'll take a 5 minutes break, then another 30 minutes, then another 5 minutes break. 30 minutes. Last break should be only of 1 or 2 minutes. Then again 30 minutes. Fine. So if I do this in cyclic manner, what happens is I did quant for 30 minutes. In 5 minutes of break, I'll simply have deep breaths. Now, when you have a deep inhale of oxygen, your mind get a good supply of oxygen. Your whole body will reboot, and you again with a lot of good concentration will come back again. Fine. This is one technique this is one technique that basically will work for you when you do a lot of quant practice, when you do a lot of vocab learning, when you do something which you do not literally enjoy doing it. But you see, understand one thing: we are here not to enjoy CLAT preparation, we are here to crack CLAT exam. You see, success is a very artificial phenomena. Natural phenomena is to get failed. To get failed, what you have to do? You have to do nothing and you are failed. But to get success, we have to do a lot of artificial work. We have to study late hours. We have to say no to friends. We have to say no to social media. So a lot of pain we have to take to get success. Always think that whatever pain you have taken, you have to create worth of it. So please, and this is one technique that I've suggested to a lot of students who are weak in subject, one or two subjects, and it has given them good result. I'll ask you to do it for next 7 days, and you yourself will find good result out of it. Fine. Now this is very, very, very important. Normally, students do something which I call against particular this rule. That is, they start the day with the thing that they like to do most, and they keep on postponing the one particular activity or subject that they do not like a lot for the later half. And what happens is that throughout your day's preparation, you carry a particular burden on your mind, an intangible burden that at one point or another I have to do that particular topic also. In fact, what I suggest to all of you is finish what you dislike first. For example, if I do not like legal, I'll do legal in the first slot, right? In the my first subject on the morning would be legal. If I do not like GK, I'll do GK in the first slot. If I do not like quant, I'll do quant on the first slot. I'm fresh, I'm motivated, and I'll do it. And once I do my target of the day for the subject or topic that I do not like, I'll get a very strong relief once I finish that off. And the rest of the day will be will give me a very easygoing feeling because I am now not anymore in any discomfort because other subjects I usually do. So if you do this, you'll get out of your burden zone very easily. Fine, and your brain will be active and more involved in the things that you do start in the starting. So this is one rule which you should apply for your preparation. Finish what you dislike first. Now, this is a very critical point where I have a lot of discussions, where I have a lot of rift and a lot of curse from you people. Uh, Please, it's a strong advice from me. Do not put your mobile in silent mode. If putting your mobile in silent mode means you are keeping your phone alive at one point of your brain. If the light of the mobile goes on, you will be distracted. Fine. So either switch it off or put it in some other room. Your mobile phone should not be in the same room while you are studying. Make your study environment distraction free. Just do one thing. Your study area should be very, very clean, neat, and ordered. Whenever you go to a place which is very clean, very neat, in an ordered manner, arranged everything properly, you will get a very positive vibes from there. And your brain will automatically welcome that environment. Usually, what we do is we lay down on bed and three books are here and two books there, and we do again. This is one thing that normally this Gen Z, you saw Generation X, Gen Z is habitual of. But on my recommendation for next 7 days, try to make your study environment clean and see the result. You will start feeling the result yourself. It will need only 2 minutes of your to arrange your study table, fine, not more than that. Understand the importance of tangible and intangible. There are a lot of people who are very good in English, who score a lot of marks in English because they have very good reading habits. Fine, and there are people who does not had a very good reading habit so far, and they are trying to do reading for last 1 month but not succeeding it. Then they come to us and they say, "Sir, I'm reading novels from last 2 months but not able to score good marks in English. What to do?" Very common problem. Now the idea over here is they are just doing one part which is visible in front of everyone, that if you are reading novels, you'll get good in reading habits. And but it's a long process. It's a time taking process. You are doing something which is right. It's not wrong. But along with that, you need to do a lot of other things also. You need to work on your grammar also. You need to work on your vocab also. They might not ask directly question on grammar and vocab in your Clat exam. They will ask these questions in symbiosis exams or AILET exam. But you see, English is a combination of language as well as subject. If you are good in one part, it will not give you good result in Clat exam. You need to be good in both the parts. You should be good in language as well as subject. So you need to be, if you want to be good in English, you need to be good in grammar as well as vocabulary as well as reading speed. Fine. So you need to work in totality over subject. You say, sir, I'm not good in calculations. I do not want to learn tables. How can I do calculations, accuracy and speed? You cannot. We will teach you percentage. We'll do how to do percentage calculation. Along with that, the intangible, the invisible factors are that you do mental calculation. You should understand tables. You should learn tables to get into a faster calculation mode. Fine. So these things will work in totality. Do not look for shortcuts. Shortcuts will not give you success. Fine. Very effective tool. Please make a schedule of group study at least for 1 hour. You find 3 or 4 good friends who are good in who are performing well academically. You see, if you are not having a good team or you're not having a good group, I strongly suggest you all to look for some people who are good in academics as far as Clat exam is concerned, and you divide a topic among yourself. And what you do is, after dividing topic, give 10 minutes presentation to everyone. In each of everyone will do these time kind of technique will work a strong, very strongly in GK, legal, critical reasoning. Let's, for example, we are 5 friends and we'll prepare assumptions tomorrow, and we'll all come with one very good question of assumptions. And my agenda is that all 4 people will fill in that question. So initially, what I'll do is I'll sit in the group of 5. I'll start what is assumption, how assumptions are being taught, and what are the key points that I need to keep in mind while doing assumption. And now I'll ask a good question from you. You see, when you teach your friend, the memory will be everlasting. You will never forget assumption in your life if you do it. The same thing can be applied to GK. The same thing can be applied to any other subject. Fine. So it's called Feynman technique, and this is very effective tool for you. It is called learning with fun. Fine, and its impact, you will not forget anything that happened in that group on that day till your Clat exam. Fine, because when you teach, it automatically fits in your mind and you have a very long lasting memory of it. Fine. Again, if you keep on repeating your mistakes, you will be a prey. And a hunter is the person who read footprints. If your mistake dominates, it will eat you up. You will be hunted by your mistakes. To be a hunter, you need to see your own footprints. You need to see the footprints of your mistakes. You need to follow your uh, footprints, see where you committed those mistakes, get to the origin, and then you hunt that mistake, and you do not repeat that mistake. Otherwise, from a hunter, you will become a prey. The only difference between a person who improves a lot and a person who does not improve a lot. You see, there might be 2 students, both of them have same IQ level, both of them study 6 hours a day. One of them is scoring more, other is scoring less. It's simply because the person who's scoring more is not committing same mistakes again. He remembers what mistakes he do. So please, you need to write down the mistakes that you and remember them. If you keep on forgetting your mistakes, you'll keep on repeating them. And committing new mistake is learning, provided you do not do it again. Fine. Now, let's talk something that you all have in mind, that you are stuck in a range of 50, 60, 70. How to increase that particular range? Now, for that, I'll ask all of you to write down chat box how many questions you attempt in mock papers. All right, fine. So many of you people have written somewhere in the range of 70s to 95. That is the maximum kind of response I'm getting. Some of you are attempting more than 100. That's good. You see, if I do simple mathematics, let's say I attempt 100 questions, fine, and I'm having an accuracy of 80%. Out of 100 questions, I did 80 right and I did 20 wrong. Now, out of this 20 wrong, how much will I get negative marking? 5 marks. So my net score would be 75. Now this is the best case scenario if I attempt 100 questions. Fine. Now please make one thing very important note of it, that your attempt should be more than 100. Fine. If we are talking about Clat exam, you see paper has been squeezed from 200 questions to 150 and then from 150 to 120. So idea is that you should attempt maximum number of questions. Accuracy is a different issue. Right now I'm talking on attempt. You see, either you have a moderate paper or you have a easy paper or you have a tough paper. That can happen on section wise distribution. If it's a paper which is which falls in the category of moderate to easy, your attempt should be more than 100, 110. Below it won't work. If fine. And if your paper is difficult, in that case you should focus on accuracy. Because what happens in easy paper, why you feel paper to be easy? Because you are able to see differentiation between the option. You are able to see clear-cut distinction between the option, that this option is wrong and this option is right. Fine. So confusion between the option will be less in an easy or moderate paper, but confusion between options will be more when it comes to difficult paper or tough paper. So the chance of having accuracy going substantially down if I attempt more in difficult paper will increase. So technically, by simple logic, paper is moderate or easy, you should try to attempt more than 100, 110. Now, what will stop you in attempting more caution is lack of self-belief, is a lack of clarity on the topics. Again, you see, there may be a lot of techniques that because and it totally depends on what problem basically people are facing. For example, some of you may be weak in critical listening and English, and they say, sir, when I start the paper, what happens is after 5 minutes I get detached from the paragraph and then restart. You need to come out of these habits, and that's why I said that you need to read a lot, because you need to train your brain in such a manner that your disconnect with the paper should be very less frequent. Problem in slow attempting is we keep on disconnecting with the paper while attempting it, and that is one area where you lose a lot of time. So develop a habit of long sittings while reading, while doing anything related to reading. Your mind should be able to be connected throughout the time while you're reading. Now start today. After 20 days you might find a good connect, but it will happen gradually. It's not that something that you can say do an injection and your reading will improve drastically. So it will take a bit of time. Accuracy or attempts, if paper is moderate or easy, I'll always prefer attempt. If paper is tough, I'll always prefer accuracy. Fine. Mock attempt, ideally you should give a time of English and critical listening at 30 minutes, somewhere from 25 to 30 minutes. GK anyways will happen in 10 minutes, either you know it or you do not know it. GK is one of the section will not waste any time. You'll get 10 marks, 20 marks, 25 marks, 15 marks, 18 marks, all in the same 10 minutes in GK. Fine. So GK is one of the section where your time spent will not hamper a lot. Then you have a very big legal section, require a lot of reading, so you might find legal to consume a bit of time of yours. So I've given more time to legal. And then quant, again, when I was going through the comment, many of the people write that did not attempt quant paper. You see, this is a very flawed way of attempting mock papers, that you leave one particular section entirely. What happens over here is you are not giving your brain, you are not giving yourself a chance to realize that you can do this particular paper. Moreover, the scores that you are, let's say I do not attempt quant and I'm getting a score of 75. 75 is not your actual score, it's your flawed score, because if you have attempted quant, then might be possible that you might have got 72 or 71 or 68, because you attempted 10 minutes of quant and you got only 2 marks in quant. Instead, what you did, instead of attending that quant paper, you had given those 10 minutes or 15 minutes to other section where you score 4 marks. This habit might be something that create a good feel for you in short run, but it will kill you in long run. For example, just go in fact, many of you have given the paper that happened in December, Clat 2000, that happened 23 December. You see, maths was such a sitter that people who are habitual of leaving maths in their mock papers, they do not attempted the mock in the actual CLAT paper. And last year CLAT was the most easiest paper of the all. And if even if you do not have a good maths, you can easily score 4, 5, 6 marks over there. So if you go an exam where you do not know what kind of paper you will be getting, you do not know what kind of difficulty level you will be getting, and you go there with a very preoccupied set of mind that I will not attempt one section, then you are taking a very big risk. I will not recommend that. Always attempt all 5 sections in your mocks. Only then you will be able to do time management in the CLAT exam. Otherwise, in CLAT exam, you will not be able to manage your time. Fine. Now, also, while attempting mock, please make sure that the order in which you are attempting section is very, very, very important. For example, I'll try to start my paper with GK, or I'll try to start my paper with legal, or I'll try to start my paper with English. Now, why GK? Because I'll say after for 10 minutes, I can see 20 bubbles filled in my OMR. This will give me a very good boost that I attempt a lot of paper. Logic 1. Logic 2, I attempted legal because I like legal a lot, or I attempted CR because I attempted legal because legal is a big section. So I do not want to take any risk with the big section. Logic 2. Logic 3, I attempted English in the starting because English is my strongest subject. So I want to start with my strongest subject. Now, no logic over here can be treated as this is the perfect way of doing it. The important point over here is whether you need to scan the paper for first 2 minutes. Fine. For example, if I'll apply approach that I'll start the paper with the section where I'm strong at. So I'll start scanning that section first. I'll give 1 minute to that section only. And how do you scan paper? Your paper is reading based. So what technique can you use to scan the paper? Fine. Now the technique that can be of help to you is do not read passage, read caution and options. 2 random cautions with options of every passage. And you get a feel that what do you feel? Options are closed or options are not closed. If options are closed, then paper is probably moderate or difficult. If the options are not closed, it's an easy section. If it's an easy section, I'll start with the section that I'm strong at. Fine. If I found it to be tough, then I'll take a pause and I'll see if it is tough for me and it is my strong section, then others will face a lot of problem in this. Wonderful. Now I'll focus on accuracy and score good in marks and get an edge over the others. Rather than losing your confidence, this should be your philosophy. You see, it is very important for you not to lose your confidence in the first 5 minutes of the paper. If you lose your confidence in the first 5 minutes of paper, your entire paper will be disturbed, and you'll get at least you'll lose at least 5 to 8 marks in the paper. So make one thing very, very sure, that whether you choose easiest one or you choose your strongest one or you choose the most important one, the philosophy should be, it should give me a moral boost in the first 5 minutes. And please make a choice between 2 sections only. Do not do I'll start the section, oh, it seems difficult, so I move to next. Then again, it seems difficult, I move to next. I'll lose my confidence. Fine. So you feel confident, train yourself to be confident for the whatever it is. If I'm not scoring in the first 5 minutes, others are more miserable than me. Think like this, and do not lose your confidence in the first 5 minutes of the paper. Fine. Always keep on drinking water after every section. You finish off one section, take 2 sips of water, then start with the next section. You see, these things will give your body a signal of rebooting the energy. And one section where maximum people commit mistake, your paper is entirely paragraph passage reading based. Fine. So it is imperative that I'll be losing 5 to 8 minutes at the end of my paper, not doing anything, just acting like I'm doing something. For example, I start a very new passage in a new section that I've not attempted in last 6 minutes, and I know that I'll need 7 minutes only to read the paragraph. Then how can I solve that particular? So I'm wasting my 6 minutes over there. Fine. So my recommendation to you people is that, again, it's a recommendation. You might take it or you might discard it. It's a simple recommendation based on logics, and at least you should try to apply this rule for next 2-3 mocks, and if it works for you, I'll be more than happy to share it with you. If I've been attempting Clat paper, I will keep my GK section for the last 10 minutes. By the simple logic that in GK, I do not need to read a paragraph a lot. I just need to read question paper questions and tick mark the answers. In that way, in that sense, I can save my last 7-8 minutes that will go waste. But the most important point over here is stick to the timeline. Do not get emotional while attempting mocks. I can give only 2 more minutes and then I can do this particular section. Do not fall in that trap. That's an emotional trap. You need to overcome that. Time is God. You cannot afford to miss timeline. If you have decided 25 minutes for this section, it should be exact 25 minutes. If you do this, that I give 25 minutes, but I keep on doing for 30 minutes, what will happen is, number one, I'll lose time in other section. I do not have sufficient time for GK in the last, which is a very big minus point. And moreover, I'm not training or pressurizing my brain to more actively and more passionately to do this in particular set of time. I'm not training my brain properly. Fine. So timeline is one thing that you should follow. You cannot afford. It's a crime. It's a sin to overshoot your timeline in mock papers. Fine. uh, Again, very important part, maximum of the students, they think they are analyzing the mocks, but in eventually they are not analyzing their mocks. They are just reading it and then they put it off. That's it, the mock life is over. Fine. Please make thing. The second last point is basically one thing: reattempt mocks as handouts. This is very close related to analyzing the mocks. Now once you attempt any mock, you go home, you put it off. Next day, you take that particular mock and then reattempt it. And how to reattempt it? You have marked option A in the paper with the same pen you marked B, C, and D all. Go to home, mark all the options on your paper. Next day, when you open that paper, you will not realize that what actually answer you have marked in the OMR. Fine. And then reattempt that paper. And all the answers that you marked wrong, please solve them like it's a question of your handout. I need to know where I went wrong and I need to learn where I went wrong so that I do not commit the same mistake again. And that's how I build upon concepts. That's how I start learning concepts. You see, let's say I'm very good in maths. Why I'm good in maths? Because I used to have a memory of 5,000 questions over here. You ask anything, if I have a memory of 5,000 questions over here, I have a memory of 5,000 solutions. So if you ask anything, something will happen and I'll get the answer. Database collection is very important. For that, you need to learn your mistakes intentionally in the start. Eventually, it will become a habit. Fine. And subject-wise problem, again, I started with the same thing, that the things that you are not good at, you should cover that and work on your weakness very strongly. Fine. All right. Now, how let's talk a bit about approaching the different sections or subjects, or you can say for the next 2.5 months. For legal reasoning, you have theory books, you have workbooks. Soon you'll be getting rank booster series also from Clat Prep, and you have handouts. Make one thing very, very sure. This is the first and the most important point that I'm going to see. I'm going to tell to you, and you all might be knowing it. You see, having a lot of library will not work. Fine. Doing 3 materials, 75%, 75%, 75% of 3 different material. Instead of this, I'll advise, please do one material with a 200% load. For example, I do law of tort exercise 1 from this book, material X from Institute X. Then I'll do one more exercise from material Y of Institute Y. Then I do one more exercise from Institute Z material. Won't work. Instead of this, what you will do is, please try to solve the material you have at least twice. And you need to make an intentional act of learning your mistakes while reattempting the same questions. What you are doing is, you are not learning the questions, basically you are learning the concept and learning the mistakes that you are doing, and that is the one thing which will help you in your exam and scoring well in the exam. There are very limited concept in your syllabus. Clat syllabus is very limited. Except GK, you won't find a lot of vastness over there, but you will find Clat to be an exam where you need a lot of practice. Now, practice does not means being adventurous. You see, when you understand a particular locality well, if I am a traveler, let's assume I am a traveler, and I'll visit one new city every month. I might have a feel that I've done a lot of visits, but am I confident that, let's say I visited Delhi, so I know everything about Delhi now? No, because in the next visit I don't go to Delhi. I went to Bangalore, so now I have 10% knowledge of Delhi and I have 10% knowledge of Bangalore. Instead of this, what I recommend you, go Delhi 3 times and have more than 70% knowledge of Delhi. Then you say, I know Delhi well. The same is applicable to your subjects also. Please redo your material at least 2 times so that you might have a confidence that I know these books. I know each and every question in this book. You ask me anything, I'll be able to handle it. If that is the case, you will not eventually will not have any need of any other material with you. And this is one habit that has taught to many students and I have given very good dividend. I have a good result out of these things. And that's what I'm sharing. I'm not sharing you what I believe you should do. I am sharing these data on the basis of experiment that I've done in past with thousands of students. Fine. Now for legal reasoning, we have two kind of topics with us. One is legal awareness, new topics, for example, Motor Vehicle Act, POXO, UCC, and so on. And then we have old conventional kind of reasoning, law of torts, law of crime, constitutional reasoning, and those things. Now, this is a mix and match of these things. But your paper is primarily focused on reasoning with law flavor. So what you need to do is you need to understand the philosophy of the paper that they are making. So for that, please solve all legal sections of Clat 2020 to 24 at least 2 times. And do not refer any answer key. Do not refer any solution explanation. Do that. And then if your answer is wrong, do not read solution. Try to make that answer is that actually Clat answer is wrong. Fight with the Clat answer key. That you are right, Clat answer key is wrong. Have another attempt in the same manner. Half of you will realize your own mistake. And then even if you do not realize the mistake, have a discussion with the faculty for that question. Then you learn to understand the philosophy that what is the correct approach to the questions with new legal pattern. Eventually, your law of court, torts, contract, crime will give you a sound base that how to think logically. That principle is the God. Whatever given in the paragraph, whatever factual situation you given the question, you have to stick to those. You cannot use your extra set of knowledge over there. And then based on these parameters and conditions and situation given to you, you have to reason out the situation. And that practice will be given to you with conventional topics. A topic can be from torts or contracts or crime or motor vehicle act, but the idea and philosophy is how to apply reasoning to that. Fine. And that requires a lot of practice. Again, you have theory books, workbooks, handouts, mock questions. You have around 30-40 mocks with you already. Look at the number of questions you already have. Now, can you strongly say that I ask any question I will be able to solve it? If the answer is no, then probably you should redo those questions before moving here and there. Fine. Don't be an adventurer. Dig down a particular subject to the depth, and then you'll be able to score more in the exam. Now, always understand one thing: if you are not good in law of contract, torts, and crime, then if paper is very easy, very simple language based, reasoning based, you might score a decent mark in legal reasoning also. For example, last year Clat paper, it was very easy paper, but when you go to previous year paper, you'll find paper of 21 or 22 where extracts from bare acts were given. So if you do not have a good knowledge of law of torts, contract, crime, and not done a lot of questions, you will not be able to score good on that particular paper. So anything can happen in Clat paper. It is very unpredictable. You need to prepare yourself for everything. So my session would be start with one old topic followed by 3-4 new topics. For example, I'll start law of crime. I'll finish law of crime. Then I'll revise 3 new topics. Let's say POXO, Motor Vehicle Act, UCC. Then I'll again come with torts, and now I'll revise 4 new legal pattern topics. Then I'll go to torts or contracts. Then I do 5 or 6 new topics, and the mixed match I will follow so that my brain become habitual. of intermixing and applying all kind of logics to the question that I will do. And one more thing, after November 15, I strongly say, or November 10, do not attempt new topics or do not attempt new things. In fact, go for lot of revision. And while attempting these questions right now, you should mark the caution with a star or D. Star or D are the cautions. Star is or D is difficult or doubt that you committed wrong in your first attempt. So again, while revising, you should focus a lot on the caution that you have labeled as star or D, so that you redo all those cautions where you did something wrong. It will eventually work on your weak areas directly. Fine. GK. Now, I've discussed a lot of issues with the student in the past. Many students make a very descriptive kind of notes in GK. Fine. I'll strongly suggest you make pointers, point by point. Your Clat paper is a fact-based paper where you need to learn a lot of facts. And if you learn a lot of facts, only then you can score a lot of marks. You cannot find a single question in Clat paper who you can mark answer if you do not remember the fact. Fine. So Clat paper GK is not about only understanding. Reading, learning, seeing videos, listening will not give you good result in GK section. You can only score marks in GK by learning the facts. If you are reading GK for 2 hours, doesn't make any sense if you are not learning what you read. And you can learn only facts and figures. So I strongly say make pointers. Do not write paragraph, make important pointers and learn those pointers. Unless those pointers are been learned by heart, your GK is not over. Just making notes or just by reading or just by watching a video or listening to some clip does not count it at all as your GK work. Your work will start when you start learning it. Fine. So please, if you want to score good in maximum, student come to me and they say, sir, I'm reading GK newspaper, making notes for 2 hours daily, but still not able to score good marks. The first thing I say is how much you right now remember that you have written so far. How much content you remember right now. If you do not remember, you cannot score marks. So what you can do is identify, talk to your faculty, identify 200, 250 or most important topics of the year, do some research, make pointers, at least 10 to 15 pointers related to that particular topic, and then learn them by heart. Somebody will shake you up in your dreams and say, what is the answer of this? And you'll say, this is the answer, and let me sleep. This is the way of doing GK. You should learn the facts. If you're not learning the facts, it will not work for you. You are killing your time in unnecessary reading or listening. Fine. From now onwards, you have 2.5 months of new GK left with you. In fact, not 2.5 months, 1.5 months, because anyways, November GK will not be that much important for you because you see your paper is an offline paper. So it will be finalized, it will be rechecked for any printing mistakes, then proofread will be done, then it will send to printer, and then it will be collected, then packed and sent to all the center for examination. This process will take around 20-25 days. So you can easily assume that your paper will be made finalized in the month of October or last week of October, you can say, to be very specific. So November GK anyways, there is very low chances and very less window to include any event of November in your Clat paper on 1st of December. So again, you have 1.5 months of new GK left with you. So I'll recommend all of you to revise your old GK in a reverse chronological manner, right from the last month. That is, we right now September. So we start with August, then previous month, then previous month, then previous month. Give a window of 7 days for entire revision of the month. Make notes of the important topics and then learn them by heart. Fine. Along with the new topic, this is one thing that you have to do parallel in GK. And at one point of time, you realize that GK is repeating itself because anyways, news are same. You need to, every month they build up on new content on that particular news. No news gets over in 1 month. The current events, these are not current facts, these are current events. Events continues on happening in a chronological manner. So while doing current GK and revising previous GK, you'll do the same. It might happen that you will be doing the same thing at least twice or thrice, which will in itself improve your retention work. Fine. Now it is, you see, it is very bookish and it is very elementary. I agree with, do this thing week one, you should do this, week two, you should do this, week three, you should do this. But these kind of activities are good for presentation. They, in fact, in realistic world, they will not help you out because you all have different set of strength and weakness. You all have a different perspective towards GK only. Fine. So it is very imperative for you to understand that what kind of technique suits you, and that cannot be a generic explanation. Like if you are good in GK, why should I say you give 2 hours of week one to do August GK? You already are good in GK. You will revise that in 30 minutes. Instead, I'll say give 1.5 hours extra to this particular section. Fine. So you'll find a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff saying we'll give you weekly schedule. Week one, you should do this. Week two, you should do this for next 90 days or 80 days. But this is very theoretical, will not work for you in practical sense until unless you know what weakness you have. And every one of you have different weakness. So that's why I'm keeping these things very generic so that you all can make use of all these things. Fine. All right. Now, critical listening English. Many students wrote this as their weakness or problem area. You see, the last line that I've written in red font, do not sleep without reading a novel for at least 30 minutes. If you are not doing it, again, you are committing a crime. If you are preparing for Clat and you are sleeping without reading 30 minutes of novel or some good book, you are committing a crime because basically you are working like an athlete who does not want to work on the stamina. It's like you want to be a runner, but you do not run in your practice session. It will not work. Critical reasoning and English are have a lot of commonality among them. And if you are not a good reader, or if you are not, in fact, leave the word good, good is a wrong word. If you are not a habitual reader, you will have a lot of disconnect while attempting questions. And if you are having disconnect, you cannot have a very good accuracy in critical reasoning. Critical reasoning, everyone knows what is assumption, everyone knows what is conclusion, everyone knows what is course of action. The problem lies in accuracy. The moment question become tricky, the moment options become tricky, we lose confidence, we'll get a slight disconnect, we'll deviate from the main agenda, and we'll eventually end up in marking one wrong answer. I'll get to a point that the answer will be either B or C, but which is more proper, which is more correct. You see, when you prepare for aptitude exams, there is nothing we call 100% correct answer. Among the given 4 options, which is the best suited answer? This is what we are looking for. We are not looking for ideal answers. We are looking for the best answer among the 4 options when it comes to critical listening or reading comprehension, as per we can say. Fine. And to get to that particular point, to understand which option is better and reasonable answer, we need to have a lot of connect with the paragraph, that's facts given in the paragraph, as well as questions. Fine. So if you are not having good reading habits, it will not work. In fact, a lot of people say that, sir, I do a lot of reading of editorial, yet my English is not improving. Dear student, reading editorial will not work on your English. It will work on your staying out of comfort zone kind of activity. You are doing that and you are getting a lot of content for GK also. So it's a collective effort for developing GK as well as English. But primarily over a period of time, what happens is student gets diverted towards learning more of GK from newspaper rather than learning more in English section from newspapers. Fine. Reading editorials will make you habitual of reading, having diversified zone of reading. That one article is from spirituality, one article is from economics, other article is from sports. So I have a diverse range of reading. I'll become habitual of that. But to increase my concentration and to improve connect, I need to go for fast reading. So for that, I need to read a lot. Please, I'm focusing a lot. Make it a rule that you will not sleep unless you have read for 30 minutes. Fine. Again, you have a lot of stuff with you. Theory books are there, mocks are there, handouts are there. A lot of questions connect with you. Please, again, do everything twice. In fact, in critical reasoning, I'll strongly suggest at least do 3 times. Same questions 3 times. And you will be surprised to see that many of you will mark different answer at least 2 times. There's a bit that's the beauty of critical reasoning. And you cannot improve your critical reasoning until unless you are pretty much sure that why option A is wrong, why option B is wrong, why option C is wrong, and why option D is right. You need to work on all the four options if you want to improve critical reasoning. So I'll strongly recommend you for this month. What you need to do is September, bring all your books, handouts, and mocks that you've done so far. Reattempt all the questions from there. If you are able to find that option B is right because of this logic, but you are not able to understand why option C and D are wrong, even in that case, you should come and ask query from the faculty. Until unless that, you will not be able to improve your critical reasoning. You will just practicing critical reasoning and hoping that things will happen good in CLAT exam. You are not actually preparing your critical reasoning. Fine. So again, if you want to improve critical reasoning, you need to work upon all the four options, not only one correct option. It is very important. Fine. And critical reasoning, it is essential that you write down what mistakes you need to make a register and write down in mock this question number this. You make option B right by thinking this is the wrong logic. Correct explanation is this because of this logic. So once you write it, your brain feeds it intangibly, and you will be having a recollect of that one when you revise those things. Fine. So critical listening and again English, they are very closely related. You'll find very rarely that people who are good in critical listening are not good in English. It might happen that there are few people who are good in English and not so good in critical listening, but the people who are good in critical listening will generally be good in English also, because critical listening is a combination of English plus reasoning. Fine. So again, if you are reading a lot, if you are practicing a lot, if you are doing repetitively practicing, you will eventually improve in these things. You need to not to do any rocket science. You need not to enroll for X number of courses to do this. Fine. It's like you are having multi-cuisine, you're going to multi-cuisine restaurant where you've been offered so many items, but you cannot eat all of them. You can eat only two or three of them. It's basically waste of time. Fine. There are a lot of students who improved a lot. There is a student of mine who was from Hindi medium and graduated from NLU Delhi, which is one of the toughest exam right now. And he was from Hindi medium. He was not able to even speak properly in the start, but he made three friends which are very good academically oriented, and he improved a lot along with them. And they made a rule that they will talk only in English. It may sound kiddish, but it will sound kiddish only to the people who think that English improvement is not that much important for CLAT. Fine. It's a start. It's a psychological conditioning for ourselves, giving us a simple rule that anyhow I have to improve my English. Fine. So please read a lot. And again, I told you initially also, do not ignore the importance of grammar and vocab if you need to develop English as a language. Fine. Very important section, critic quant. It is one of the most neglected. It is one of the most perceivedly tough section of CLAT, yet very easy to crack. You see, it is one of the section which has a minimum syllabus. You need to do percentage family, you need to do ratio family and averages. And if you go and look at the paper of last 4-5 years of CLAT for new pattern, you will be amazed to know that 90% of the paper or 80% of the paper is basically these chapters: percentage, ratio, and averages. Fine. In percentage family, I'll talk about percentage, profit loss, or some part of SICI. Ratio family is basically ratios and mixtures, and then averages. So it is so easy to do it. The problem is not in quant. The problem is you have developed a mental blockage related to quant. You do not want to do calculations. I'll give you a very simple exercise for that. You need to do mental calculations. You need to train your brains to feel good about numbers. You need to remove this phobia of numbers first of all. So what you do, just try this for next 7 days. Whenever you are on road, whenever you see a vehicle in front of you, please add the numbers written on the number plate of the vehicle. Just try this activity for next 7 days, and you see your brain has become habitual of numbers. Once your brain become habitual of numbers, it will become habitual of calculations, and you will stop committing silly calculation mistakes eventually. Fine. Very basic activities. So if you are not very good in maths, Please focus on percentage family, ratio family, and average and the first priority. September, take a target. In September, you'll finish off percentage family, ratio family, and average family. That should be a target for quant. Once you do it in September, in October, do as many questions in mocks and again redo the theory books and drawing booster book series that you'll be getting related to these chapters, related to these the question related to these chapters only. And you will be able to see that in mocks you are scoring now around 8 marks, 7 marks easily. Fine. So please do not make one mistake of not attempting quant in mock papers. Number one. Number two, give more importance to these three families of chapters. Number three, adopt habit of doing mental calculation. If you do mental calculation, it would be very easy for you to score in quant. You see, it is once in every 5 years that you'll find difficult in maths in Clat paper. Clat maths is normally very easy. You yourself will realize it. Just go for past year papers, Clat 2020 onwards, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 paper. You'll just go and see quant question how difficult, how many, how there's only one paper you'll see that questions are difficult. Rest every year questions are very manageable. It's you are killing your and believe me, all the people who attempted Clat in 23 December, they are very much aware of the fact that if you are not attempting mock in such an easy, maths in such an easy paper and you are just giving away your 10 12 marks, you are out of competition. Primary rule, until unless they do try to do some experiment, maths is usually easy in Clat. If you are not good in maths, even then you can easily score 4 to 6 marks in Clat in quant. And I will not recommend you to give away these 4 6 marks. 2 marks in Clat is basically you are leaving top 3 NLUs. So what you are preparing for them? Fine. You need to fight for each and every mark that you can score easily in exam. Fine. What happens is I try to attempt one very difficult question of legal reasoning rather than attempting 5 questions of easy question of maths. This is a wrong approach. Fine. I do not love any subject. I do not hate any subject. I love my marks. And if I am able to score more marks in easy section, which is quant, I will do it, irrespective whether I like it or do not like it. My agenda is to score well in Clat exam. Fine. So please, and in maximum cases, the fear of math is because of the calculation mistake that you're habitual of committing since your childhood. And that is because you're not doing calculations with active mind. So please do mental calculations. The activity that I just told you to read, add number of any number that you see in number plates will make you habitual of numbers, and your calculation mistake eventually will fall less. Also, again, you need to remember table of up to 15. That is a very common sense in maths. The most basic thing they should do in maths. Fine. And moreover, believe me, if you are thinking that there will be less than 10,000 students in Clat who are good in maths along with you, it's a wrong assumption. How many people you think will be appearing for Clat this year? Around 70,000. Do you think there will not be 10,000 students who are good in maths? There will be. There will, in fact, there will be more than 20,000 students who are good in maths. And if you are fighting with them in competitive exam and you are not doing maths, you yourself are giving self-declaration that I will not be selected. Fine. So please do not waste time, any further time. If you waste more time, you will be late next month. This is the month to act. September is the month to improve your quant also. Focus on these 3 chapters specifically in September if you are weak in maths. Fine. All right. Now I'll have 10 minutes of discussion with all of you. If you have any specific query, you can write it down, and I'll have a how to cover GK backlog. Again, Rakshit, for covering GK backlog, it's very simple. Do not go month wise, go topic wise. Fine. If you divide your GK backlog into important topic list of important topics, what will eventually happen is once you cover 50 topics out of 100, you will see my 50% work is done. Otherwise, if you go with month-wise calculation, you will always feel a burden over there. Fine. How many mocks you should do? Ideally, 2 mocks a week are more than sufficient from now onwards. Fine, because it's not only attempting a paper, it's about attempting, reattempting, analyzing, and then learning. So again, 2 mocks per week is more than sufficient. Fine. Then I have questions. It takes more time to complete mocks. Again, I told you that if until unless you are not habitual of uh, reading a lot, because your paper requires reading a lot, you will waste a lot of time, and eventually you'll slow down yourself in the mocks also. So that activity will only improve. uh, just a second. Hmm. So that activity will only improve once you have become habitual of reading. Legal is not covered in 40 minutes now. Again, legal is not covered in 40 minutes because it's a difficult section, or because you are not having good reading speed, number one. If you're not having good reading speed, we have discussed already that if you redo number of questions, eventually you'll try to learn concept, and that while reading question you start getting intuitions also. Fine. uh, and if it's because it's a difficult section, then again it's not. You once the 40 minutes over, you switch on to next section. Fine. Do not wait for section to get complete. Your idea, uh, we are not here to complete difficult section, we are able to score good marks in any section. I am good in CR, but I feel scared while doing English and reading paragraph. Now again, this is one thing that happens when we have very good mind but not having good reading habits. Fine. Again, this is a common problem with the student who are having good logics, practical logics in life, but they are not habitual of reading a lot. So their brain is sharp, they are able to identify logics and flaws, but they are not able to read a lot. So reading is the only solution. Do one thing, make a target in September. You'll do 4 novels. It might be Harry Potter, very easy novels. You start feeling confidence while reading after a bit of time. Fine. Uh, Rank booster series, definitely you'll be getting it soon, uh, probably in a month or so. I will section analyzing mocks where logical sections. Now there are too many doubts. Just a second. It's about RBS analyzing mocks well, but logical section not improving. Again, I told you, if you are having confusion between the two answers, you need to learn the difference in the solutions for these two answers. All right. Anyways, we'll do one thing. Let's do one thing. Uh, Now I'll ask Hyundai people uh, to please join us and give you a brief idea about this wonderful scholarship that you all can get while preparing, and then we'll again come to this Q&A session later. Fine. Uh, so let me just give me a minute so that I can ask them to come, and we'll again discuss this Q&A session just after 10 minutes of session. Fine. Manvi, can you switch on your camera if you hear me, and you can switch on your mic? I'll try to answer your queries in the chat box for some time. Fine. Uh, Manvi, can you come online, please?
Hello.
Yeah, hi Manvi. Uh,
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Uh, I can see Ritesh now. So can you share your screen?
Yes, Ritesh will be sharing the screen. I'm having
Okay,
some problem with the camera.
fine, fine,
So
fine. So Ritesh, you can share your screen. Now it's visible to us. All right,
yes.
you can start explaining the scholarship to the
Okay.
students.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Time Institute, for this opportunity. Hi everyone. I am Manvi Kalra, and my colleague is here, Ritesh, who is presenting the screen. We are from CSR Box, and I welcome you for this awareness session that is about Hyundai Hope Scholarship for all the CLAT aspirants. So I'll give you a very brief about what this scholarship is all about and how you can avail the benefit of this scholarship. So this scholarship program is developed and funded by Hyundai Motor India Foundation, and this will be implemented by Bharat Cares, which is an implementation arm of CSR Box. So I'll give you a very bit background what Hyundai Motor India Foundation is doing. They are doing this with a notable aim of giving back to the society. So yes, this scholarship is for CLAT aspirants. Next, yes, this scholarship is for CLAT aspirants, especially designed for all the CLAT aspirants who want to pursue their career in law. Those students who are studying in class 11, 12, and those who have potential to pursue their those who have potential and exceptional academic performances, leadership skills, and everything, they all can fill the form and apply for the scholarship. Uh, I'll tell you what we are providing in this scholarship, and we are offering this scholarship to these states. These states, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Delhi, Kerala, Maharashtra, Haryana, and Tamil Nadu.
Uh, Manavi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, but it has extended to all the other states also, no?
Yes, yes. This is
Yes. It's
initially
not
this
so.
was preferred state. Yes,
Yes.
we are doing this across India. Next,
Okay. So all states are included over here.
yes, yes. So this is the eligibility criteria, how a person is eligible for this scholarship program. So a student who is enrolled in any coaching center or want to enroll in coaching center, for example, this is Time Institute. If all the students are enrolled or those who want to enroll in Time Institute, they can apply for this scholarship program. In class 10th and 11th, 60% marks we need. Also, the family income of the student should be up to 8 lakh per annum. So this is the eligibility criteria. This is the benefits what we are providing in this scholarship program. So we are providing the maximum financial aid of 45,000 per student, or 50% of the coaching center fees, whichever is lower. So this is the major highlight. We are not only providing financial benefit, but we are also giving some expert sessions, some mentorship and guidance by the experts to all those selected students. Also, there will be counseling program as well by the experts. So this is the benefits of the scholarship program. 45,000 maximum, or 50% of the coaching center fees, whichever is lower. This is the selection process, how a student can get the scholarship. First, you need to fill the application form. I'll show you on the next screen the QR code where you can scan the QR code and fill the application form. Then there will be psychometric assessment, that is online test, very basic test जो होगा आपका. उसके बाद there will be an interview process, and then the final 150 students will be selected जिनका physical document verification होगा last में, and at the last the scholarship amount will be paid in two tranches directly to the institute जहां पर भी आप enrolled हैं या फिर होने वाले हैं. So this is the selection process. Here comes the how you can apply for this incredible opportunity. This is the QR code. You can scan this QR code, and then you will land up to the Google form. Very easy and simple Google form you need to fill. You need to fill all the required details in the Google form, and then you need to upload the relevant documents, just 10th mark sheet and your ID proof. And then at last, you need to click on the submit button to finalize the application process. Also, we are not charging anything to apply for this scholarship. This is totally free of cost. So you don't need to pay anything. You can take a screenshot of this slide, or you can directly scan this QR code to fill the Google form for the application. So if anybody has any doubt, they can ask. This is I have given all the information what the scholarship is all about, it benefits, selection process, and how one can apply for this scholarship. Hello, am I audible?
Hello, Manvi, can you access the chat box?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, you can read it from there and you can reply, please.
Sorry, I don't have any access to the chat
Okay,
box
okay,
because I can't see
I'll
any text.
okay, fine. Fine, so now I'll
Yeah.
read up. The query that some people raised was regarding the scholarship. Is this a scholarship for rankers or is this scholarship for person who are having a financial background of less than 8 lakhs? There's one more query related to psychometrics test, that what kind of paper it would be. These are two
Okay,
queries.
so okay. So those students whose family income is up to 8 LPA, we are taking those, we are preferring those students. This is our preference criteria. But if you have family income beyond this, you can apply for the scholarship. But yes, I am saying it clearly, we will give preference to those who have the family income up to 8 LPA.
So
And regarding
basically,
the,
anyone can apply. Fine. And
yes, yes.
if there are students, what is the total amount of scholarship that we are offering to all the students?
So we are the final 150 students will be selected at the end. If we'll get entries that is less than 8 LPA, definitely we will give first preference to those. But if we don't have
Okay.
entries to in that bracket, we will take students
So,
who are
so
beyond this
So,
criteria. Yeah.
okay. So basically, we'll be offering scholarship to 150 student among all of
Yes.
you. Preference will be given to those who are having a family income of less than 8 lakh per annum. And then later on, if there we find that let's say there's a scope of only 70 students have been covered, so remaining can be given to the student who are having a family background of more than 8 lakhs per annum. This is the
Yes.
basic clarity. Fine. And what is the basic nature of the psychometric test?
So psychometric assessment will be an online test, MCQ test. There will be questions related to the career interest, career motivators, questions related to the skills, leadership skills, organizational skills, and then there will be questions on very basic verbal ability, logical reasoning, and basic numeracy. So this is the whole structure of the psychometric assessment.
All right. Fine. So I think these are the basic queries. Uh, no, someone is asking, is it based on Clat rank? No, no, it's not based on Clat rank. It's basically based on psychometric evaluation and then an interview. Is it correct?
Yes, at last, the interview process will happen. Interview
Hmm.
process will be very simple. The panelist will want to know about you, what the student lives, and how why that student is motivated to apply for the scholarship, and how you are the best suited to get selected for the scholarship. Just this. So don't worry about the interview process and everything.
Okay, got it. I hope that everyone got. It is for 12th pass out. Anyone who is appearing for CLAT 2025 or 26 is eligible. And what is the deadline to apply for the scholarship, Manvi?
So currently the deadline is 15 September.
So everyone who is preparing for CLAT 25 or 26 can apply for this before 15th of September. Fine. Whether they are 12th, if someone is there who's 12th pass out and appearing for CLAT 25, can they also appear for the scholarship?
Yes.
Okay, they can also apply for the scholarship. And when will this interview and psychometric test will happen?
Soon after the deadline gets
Okay,
over, then within a week or 10 days, we'll conduct the psychometric assessment, and then in a time of 1 week, we will again declare the result, and then the interview process will happen.
okay, and this is applicable to all students who are already joined us also, no?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Manvi, thanks you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. So coming back to this discussion part that we left in between. So if anyone has any query related to discussion regarding any subject or specific, they can raise right down chat box. So I'll. So should we do all five subjects every day? Now, it is possible if you are 12th pass out and you are not going to any college or school, but if you are going to school, then it is practically very difficult to do all five subjects in a day. So what I'll recommend is you'll do three subjects in a day and repeat GK and legal more on the next day and along with one new subject. So it may be GK, legal, and English one day, critical reasoning, GK, and quant one day, then again legal, GK, and critical reasoning, and so on. So that is a recommended way in this. How to avoid same mistake in English? Again, I told you that you need to first write down what mistakes you are doing. You see, in English, it is important to understand the difference between close options. The maximum people commit mistakes. Uh, they when they start the English section, they try to find out answers to the questions rather than understanding the paragraph. So you need to come out of that habit. You need to understand paragraph. And again, I'll suggest you one more activity over here is that from now onwards, whenever you read, whether it may be a novel or whether it may be an editorial, please try to make one question out of that along with four options. Just simple exercise. Questions should be very simple. I'm not asking you to do some difficult question. Very easy question you make from any editorial or novel that you have read. That this is our. I'll ask one question from this, and I'll make four options also. And have to do in mind only. Not have to write down and register or something. You'll start understanding the things that you are reading eventually. Which source should we do GK and how? Now again, the source of GK is very important. You see, all institutes have around 80-85% of common material with them. That is the relevant material. You will be getting relevant material from the institute because anything under the sun is GK. And now 2.5 months are left. And if I ask you to do a lot of research on GK, you will waste your time. Eventually, I'll suggest you to focus on what you have been provided in your mocks, in your handouts, in your magazines, and try to make single pointer notes and learn them. Also, in Rank Booster series, we will be providing you a lot of questions based on the most important topics for this year. So again, you'll have a wonderful tool for revision over there also. Fine. Quant section to do effectively, again I told you need to do mental calculation. This is a exercise that you should inculcate in your habits. And number two, start with average percentage. First of all, finish off these two chapters, do maximum question out of these two chapters, and you start scoring your mocks. because in Clat this is the most important chapters where 80% of question been asked so far. So once you start scoring, again it will help give you a psychological boost to attempt more and more quant. How many hours to each subject? Again, it is a very generic question because it depends. If you are having low speed in reading, you have to spend a lot of time in reading. But if you are good in reading and English, then you can spend some time over there. But ideally, if you start any subject, you should stick to at least 1.5 hours to that particular subject on a particular day, not less than that. Fine. Marks, sir, why marks fluctuates a lot? Mark will fluctuate uh, and there are n number of factors for that. It may be because of a topic may occur which you are not well prepared of, or paper may be difficult. You see, fluctuating marks is not an issue. The issue is you should not break the lower limit of your mark scoring. For example, if I'm a student, I'm scoring somewhere in 65 to 75, then my target is to improve this slab of 10 marks in a slider manner. That after 3 more marks, it should be three more. It should be a range from 65 to 75. It should go to 70 to 80. So I'll add on 5 marks in my lower limit as well as upper limit. That should be the fluctuation will anyways will be there because every paper is a different paper, and every while attempting the paper your concentration level is different, so it will happen, right? uh, Now initially you were scoring good, now you have fell, your scores are drastically fell down. In that case, I'll strongly recommend you to have a long discussion with faculty, the way you are approaching the mocks initially and now the way you are approaching the mocks. Moreover, also I'll suggest one thing that uh, if your marks have went down, that probably because you are not following learning GK by heart. This is the most common symptom that people usually have, or you are distracted, or your concentration have been a bit wavery over a period of time. So I'll recommend to have a one-on-one discussion with faculty and explore the problem. Why is it happening? Because generically, uh, the answer to this question is very subjective and need to be discussed in a one-on-one manner, that because it's a specific problem for you, so we need to explore why is it happening. uh, okay. uh, Sir, while doing Clat, how can you keep up with your 12th course also? Now this is a very common problem with a lot of people who are preparing for class 12th along with Clat preparation. Now see, you have two exams in front of you. One is class 12th and one is Clat exam. When class 12th exam will happen, and one in which month you will be having class 12 exam, and in which month you will be having Clat exam. You need to understand the psychology. Fine. Clat will happen in December and your class 12th exam will happen in March end or April. So which exam should you handle first? Which exam should be given more priority at this point of time? It's a very obvious answer. As far as emotional dilemmas will be there, it will be there, it will stay over there. You need to be strong enough. You see, for getting good marks in class 12, you have uh, half of December, January, February, and half of March with you, even after your CLAT and AILET exams. Fine. So I strongly recommend all of you who are in class 12 right now to focus more on CLAT at this point of time rather than 12th. Fine. If you need to have a selection on some day, let's say today I am having these two tasks and I can do only one. In that way, I'll recommend you to go for CLAT at this point of time. On 1st of December, you'll be having CLAT exam. Even if you are giving AILET or SLAT, you'll be free from all these exams on 15th of December. So after that, you have a lot of time to focus on your boards also. And I have seen a lot of students doing this, scoring well in CLAT. Also in class 12, they score more than 95%. So again, it's simple mindset. Start saying no. I told you in the earlier slides. Your topmost priority should be yes. All other priorities should be no for that particular moment. Again, either you increase more time you get more time out of your sleep on other activities, and focus more on CLAT along with your board exam. Board exams, you have to carry both the things, but priority should be given to Clat for next 2 months. After that, entire focus will shift on boards and it will be sufficient time for you to score over there also. This is what I recommended my student in the past and it has given very good results so far. Uh, how to avoid losing focus in mock? Again, I strongly recommend all of you to have a break of 30 seconds after every section. Drink water, have deep breath, close your eyes, and just say, I can do it. You see, it's losing focus is a choice. You do not give that particular choice to you in the exam, and eventually it will stop happening. Fine. Uh, Sir, what is good score in mocks? Again, a good score in mocks. If you talk about last year, 3-digit score is a good score. But if you go to a CLAT 21, a lower score would also work. So again, it is not score. It is about you. If you are scoring uh, more than 80 in a moderate paper, normally it is considered as a uh, decent score. Fine. Try to get more than 85 in a moderate paper. Difficult, you can shift your scores five marks down, and easy you can make a range of 5+ marks. Fine. Okay. Generally scores keep your classes Saturday on. All right. So I think the questions are coming on repetitive manner. Uh, there's a question how to manage CLAT and AILET both simultaneously. You see, for AILET and CLAT, maximum preparation is common except analytical logical reasoning. Fine. So just practice a lot of analytical, logical, and reasoning, that is puzzles, along with your normal CLAT preparation. It will work. Fine. All right. So having said that, let's wind up the session now. Thank you for being such a patient and listening crowd. Just a second. Just a second. All right. Uh, I enjoyed giving this session to you people. Thank you for being such an interactive and welcoming crowd. I hope my session will help you in utilizing your next 2.5 months in a more proper manner, and you'll be able to focus more on your studies and in a more proper and error-free manner, so that your and I hope each and every one of you to score good in your CLAT exam. Best of luck from my side. Best of luck from CLAT Prep. Believe in yourself, and if you focus on yourself, you can do achieve anything in your CLAT exam. Fine. Thank you and best of luck.